What is going on, friends? It is Mike. I hope everybody's having a great night. We just wrapped up a phenomenal leg day workout. I mean, one of the best that I've ever had. So I want to go live, share a quick recap, give you a couple ideas of what the program looks like. We are making progress. We are making gains. We are getting stronger. We are in a little bit of a bulk mode. So it's really nice to be able to see the weight on the exercises, lifts going up. I don't know how I feel about the weight on the scale going up. It's been fairly like steady, stable. I'm just not really like watching. I'm not on the diet program right now. I'm just having fun. Putting the weight up, lifting, taking it one day at a time. So we're gonna go through the workout. Today was deadlift day. We did 6 at RPE 9. Now, the way that I estimate the RPE, I use an RPE calculator just online. Plug in my last 10 rep max, and with a slight, like rounding up, calculator said 365 for a set of 6. And I'm happy with how 365 looked. I probably could have squeaked out 1, maybe 2 more reps. But it looked like a good estimate of like where RPE 9 would and should have been. So I'm happy with that. And I also am breaking in some new wraps. So that was kind of like a little bit of a variable. I'm used to not using any kind of wraps. So since I'm breaking them in, I want to get used to and break them in, especially for heavier sets as well as sets that we go to failure, because they do help. And part of me wants to continue strengthening the grip. Part of me also believes that, like, all right, if we can get stronger using the accessory, it will just carry over at the end of the day in all areas. So we're breaking them in. Then we do drop sets, 315, 2 reps, 5 sets. Last set, as many reps as possible. Now, the last time I hit 315 to failure, as many reps as possible, we actually hit 315 for 10. That was maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. And today, we actually hit it for 315 for a set of 11. So I'm happy with that. Squeaking out 1 more rep. Maybe could have squeezed out 1 or 2 more. It's possible. But I'm happy with 315 for 11. I set that as my target. It's like, all right, if I can break the previous rep max, you know, 1 would be good, 2 more would be great, 3 or more would be excellent. And today I had 1 more. So that's what we hit. I'm happy with that. Then we moved it on to hack squats. Hack squats, 410 for 5x5. So 410, 4 plates, 25 on each side, 410, 5x5, got all the volume in. Felt good. The second to last set, I started feeling like, all right, I'm digging a little bit deep to get these out. The last set, you know, definitely felt like I was digging the deepest, but there was still gas in the tank. So hack squats, I'm really happy to see that that's progressing, getting stronger. Then we moved it on to Bulgarian split squats, holding on to a 15-pound dumbbell in each hand. So total of 30 pounds, sets of 10, 3 sets. It's pretty standard stuff. Balance is weird on the Bulgarian split squats, I'm not gonna lie. So I am confident that as the weight progresses and as I get the muscle memory down, the balance will come along with that. Bulgarian split squats is also something that is like, I historically never hit them. It's a very new movement for me. So there's that as well. I just don't have the muscle memory when it comes to hitting that particular movement. But it is a really good isolation exercise for your quads. So I see a lot of the pros doing it. Ideally, what I'd like to see is, you know, you're hitting your quads, you're hitting an isolation exercise on your quads. So it's going to drive your deadlift, it's going to drive your squat, it's going to help the stability. And so it makes sense to work them in. And the fact that, like, you know, think about it. If you're squatting 315, 405 or whatever it is, but you can't do 10 reps of a split squat, something like that, you know, you can, but your muscle memory just isn't quite there. That's a imbalance, and it's an area for improvement. Which is one of the reasons why I work in some of these isolation exercises. Get stronger in those, it carries over to other areas and makes you overall a better athlete. So that's the rationale behind that. Then we moved on to chest supported T-bar row, 90 pounds, sets of 10, 3 sets. This pretty standard. I did hit the first set for a set of 10, felt good. I failed the following 2 sets, but that is okay. It's kind of how this program is structured, is like, we're doing something called max rep sets. So you find out virtually what your 10 rep max would be on, in this case, a T-bar row. For me, it was 90 pounds. Now, if you could do 90 pounds for all 3 sets, good job, you got the volume, but you didn't do your max rep set. The weight was too light. So, which is fine, but the idea of this is you want to kind of find that sweet spot where maybe you have like half a rep in reserve, 1 rep in reserve, and if you do like 10 reps your first set, 8 reps your second set, 5 reps your third set, that's okay. And that's kind of what I did this time, except it was 10 first set, 5 the second set, 5 the third set. Then we moved it on to lat pull down. This one, this was a good example of the opposite end of that, because I hit 100, and I hit 100 for all 10 reps, or all 10 reps for all 3 sets. So it's good, I got the volume, but it was too light. So I just made a note, you know, go up by another, you know, 20%, which would probably be a little bit more closer to that sweet spot of what would be considered a max rep set. Then we moved it on to seated leg curl, 135, sets 18. The video on this one, the leg curls, hamstrings, I was working. You can see it on my face. I probably looked like, you know, you got a good video there with facial expressions. The leg curl machine here is awesome. It really locks you in. One thing I did notice is, like, I kind of do, like, if you've ever seen like Sam Sulik hit hamstrings, he kind of brings his chest up to, and you know, he's kind of like leans over the handles, which is fine. But I also notice, like, if I lean back, maybe I'll get a better stretch at the top of the lift. It's like when you lean forward, you're stronger at the bottom. But I notice that when I'm leaning forward, I can't get as much of a stretch at the top. So I'm just kind of playing around and seeing which works best. Ideally, like, I want to be able to move more weight, but I also want to make sure that I'm getting the full range of motion. So these are just some things that I'm thinking about. But 135 was good. Hit first set of 18, hit second set of 18, and then I think I was able to only get 10 that third set. Then we moved it on to Nordic curls. This is reverse Nordic curls. This is something new that I'm working in. It's hard to explain, but I'm gonna post a video so you can check it out. One thing that I know, and this is an area that I am like strategically doing some progressive overload. So I've never hit this kind of movement before. I'm tight with it because it is a body weight, pretty much like a body weight quad exercise, but it's an alternative to like a leg extension. So with the idea of progressive overload in mind, I did hold on to a 5-pound weight, and I held on to that for the first 5 reps. Then I put the weight down and I finished the following 13 reps. The next time I do this, I'll take a 10-pound, I'll do the same thing. Or maybe I'll hold on to the 5-pound and do it for maybe like 6 reps or 8 reps. And I'll play around with it, whatever I'm feeling. But the idea is I want to add weight to this exercise, but I also want to get the form down. It is a very nice stretch in your quads. I noticed that when I was descending, my hips hinge in not the right way. I think you get a better movement when you kind of keep your hips in line with your spine. What I was doing was I was kind of like hinging at my hips, and it's very hard to explain. All I know is like I experimented it doing that way, and I experimented the next set, like really focusing on keeping my hips in the same position from start to finish, and doing it that way felt a lot better and felt like I was actually stretching, like the tension was where it was supposed to be, if that makes sense. So something I'm going to experiment with, see how I like it, and continue to progressive overload. And then finally, curls for the girls. We wrapped up with the bicep curls, flat bench, 20 pounds, sets of 18, 3 sets. I'm experimenting with different angles, you know, using a flat bench, using a slight incline, using a very incline for the bicep curls. Just seeing, you know, how they how you know, arms respond and what feels heavier, what you know, playing around with the difficulty in creative ways. Pretty standard. Other than that, that wrapped it up. So in and out, awesome workout, feeling good, got a good pump, happy with how everything worked out. If you like this information, give a love heart, share with a friend, comment your favorite part. Happy Friday, hope everyone has a great night, and we'll catch up again real soon.